We've got a senior citizen that went into Walmart, stalked a mother and a 5-year-old little girl, and then when mother was distracted shopping in one of the displays, he exposes himself in her presence. And then he walks past her and masturbates in the store in the middle of the day. Fortunately, a great Walmart employee saw this and immediately took action, notified the supervisor in the sheriff's office. For 2 days, we've been looking for this suspect, and we knew our community would come through, and they did. But let me give you a predicate before we start that. Let me remind you of something. Do you remember Santa Claus? Tom Hicks? That's right, the 68-year-old man who is a well-known Santa Claus in Central Florida and Polk County, that thousands upon thousands of children sat in his lap. And he was in the Christmas parade for at least a decade as the Santa Claus. That he tried to have sex with, traveled to have sex with a minor. We arrested him just a couple of months ago. He's still in the county jail. And you go, okay, Grady, so where's all this going? The guy we arrested is his brother. Did you hear what I said? David Hicks, Tom Hicks' younger brother. He's 62 years of age. We received a Crime Stoppers tip from the community, and I thank you. You can't get away with crime in Polk County, Florida, because our people in this community will recognize you and call us. This time they did it via Crime Stoppers. But there's more to this story than the fact that David Hicks exposed himself in front of a 5-year-old child after stalking her through the store and then masturbating. In 1991, he was arrested in South Carolina for indecent exposure, and he paid a fine. In 1992, he was arrested in Toccoa, Georgia, and there's no disposition on that case. In 1996, he was arrested in Escambia County, Florida, and finally somebody sent him to jail for 3 months for indecent exposure. In 1998, he was arrested again in Toccoa, Georgia, and that case was null prost. In 1998, he was charged with 2 counts of child molestation in Toccoa, Georgia. They withheld adjudication after all of that history and only gave him 5 years of probation. And then on Monday afternoon past, he is a sexual predator in a Walmart, sexually exposing himself to a 5-year-old little baby and then masturbating in the store in the middle of the day. This guy is a deviant. This guy needs to be locked up for a long period of time. As you can see, he's in custody. When we knocked on his front door after receiving the tip, he looked my deputies and detectives in the eye and said, "I know why you're here. I want a lawyer." He wouldn't talk. We've charged him with indecent exposure, which is a felony of the 3rd degree because of his criminal history. We've charged him also with exposure of sexual organs, which is a felony of the 3rd degree. We've also charged him with lewd exhibition in the presence of a child, which is a felony of the 2nd degree. That's a 15-year felony. Ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about a family affair. Both of these people are child sexual deviants. And we're not going to house them together in the county jail, but he needs to be in the county jail along with his brother who's already there, and then we need to send them both to state prison for the rest of their life. Now I want you to understand, this is only the ones he's been caught for committing. And as you know, He didn't just wake up and decide to do this. He's done this over and over, and we don't know how many times he got away with it, nor do we know how many other cases may be out there. Since we put this information out and our communities come forward, we are investigating at least one other incident that we know of up to this point in time against David Hicks. So David, you're going away to jail. You'll recognize your brother who's already there. Are there any questions?
Grady, obviously when you first heard that these two were related, you just obviously get your reaction like, oh my.
I was absolutely, totally shocked. They're brothers. I said, they're brothers. Our administrator of communications, Carrie, came in and said, I've got to tell you something. I thought she was messing with me. She said, I am not. She said, she brought this picture and said, Santa Claus's brother is this guy. And now we've got them both locked up in jail. I just hope there's no more brothers. Okay?